What's up, everybody? So, what's up, guys? Gonna make a song with my acoustic guitar today. Maybe a little bit of other guitars and basses. I'm giving the Tascam Model 12 here one more chance because it would really be nice to have this thing like just kind of sitting up in the studio. I already have it. Going through the trouble of selling it and all that. If I don't have to, I don't want to do it. So I'm gonna give it another try. Now, I already ran into one of my old friends the issue where when I'm using the MPC One Plus in this thing, I get a bunch of these weird clicks, like when the metronome is going and I'm playing an instrument, monitoring it is a chore. So I did my best to get a good balance between the two of them because it seemed like that was happening because the metronome was clipping the input of the Tascam when it comes back over from the MPC One. So hopefully we don't encounter any of those issues today. I got an audio track pulled up already. Here's the metronome. And I'm going to slow it down just a little bit because this is a little too fast. So that's what I'm doing. Right now I'm at 93 BPM. I'm going to slow it down even more to about 90. Yep. And that's a good tempo. So yeah, that's what I was just playing right now. That's the song that I'm going to be recording. Okay, cool. So it's a 4-measure loop. I'm going to set the loop to 4 measures. And I actually played that kind of perfect the first pass through, so hopefully I don't struggle to record this now. I should have just hit record anyway, but it's all good. I've got the compression from the Tascam on, and it's pretty high. It is at 3 o'clock, which is nearly the maximum. I mean, not quite the maximum. I guess you'd say it's like 3/4 or maybe a little more than 3/4, but yeah, it's pretty heavily compressed. And then this Gretsch Rancher Penguin acoustic that I'm using, which is amazing, by the way. I got rid of my Martin once I got this because it plays better, and I just love this aesthetic. Like if I'm gonna go do open mics with it or something, I like having this crazy flashy looking Gretsch guitar, and it's my first intro to a Gretsch, so pretty happy about it. I like the system, but I've got the middle boosted on the EQ a little bit and the treble boosted. They're both boosted about the same. They're both at about 1 o'clock. And then I've got the bass. I've got a little bit of it notched out in this preamp, and that's at 11 o'clock. And it sounds like this. It's coming into channel 2 of the Tascam Model 12, and the EQ on the Model 12, everything is set at noon. And like I said, I have that compression in. So let's just go ahead and try to lay this down. going to keep that. I feel a few parts where I could have done a little bit better as far as just letting notes ring out. But for these purposes, since I'm going to mess with this and tweak it a bunch anyway, it doesn't really matter because, yeah, I'm using the MPC, so I'm going to do some MPC things. Let me go ahead and name sequence 1 verse, and then we'll move on to that second part. Okay, so got to drop this down to 90 BPM. I should have made it the global tempo 90 BPM. So let me see how many measures this is. 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2. So that's 6 measures, I believe. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm shaking in my boots, but let's try that one. I knew I was going to struggle a bit more with that one. It's a little more difficult. Got through that one, huh? I got 2 choices. I can either start a drum program here, or I can just jump ahead and make a bass line. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the drums first, because sometimes the bass line will make everything get messy. So let me go ahead and handle that. Okay, going to start with the chorus since I'm already here. And let's assign some samples. Fingers crossed that my samples populate, because I did actually have some trouble with that last time. All right. This is a job for Lindrum samples, but I'm going to use the samples from Mars Lindrum, because I like that one. I like that one a lot, actually. All right, it's loading up. Let's try something out. I'm not sure where I want to go, but let's just see how it sounds. Okay, I'm going to do a little overdub for the end. Okay, I like that so far, so let's just do it. Heading back to the verse now, so. Okay, I'm going to do a 4 on the floor beat for that, so it'll be really, really easy. Here we go. Okay, let's lay down the snare. I'm going to use the shaker for this because I want to keep this a little bit light because of those pretty chords. So. Sounding good so far, so. All right, let me see if anything needs a little bit of cowbell. I'm gonna add the toms to that chorus, but I'm going to keep them out of the verse. I'm going to keep the verse as minimal as possible. So let me just lay down this overdub. I think that works for now. I think that's good. I think I'm thinking about laying down the bass. Let me just name this drums real quick. That works. So I'm going to get my bass. Okay, got my bass out. Silliness. Let's figure out a bass line. So let's start with a verse. Okay, let's try it. That's good. So now we got to move on. Let's go over to the chorus. Okay, I think I figured something out. Let's give it a shot. Okay, let's solo it out and see what it sounds like. Sounds good. Yeah, sounding good so far. So it might just be time for one more guitar. Okay, got out the Jazzmaster, so let's try this out. Just like that, real simple. So let's do it. Sounding good. By the way, I got a chain going here. So I'm going into channel 2 of the Tascam Model 12 here. I've got the compressor on, and it is at about 2 o'clock. I've got the mids boosted. The mid frequency that I'm boosting is a little over 600, so I'll say like 650, and I have it boosted. Have it like +3. So if you know the Model 12, you'll know what that is. And then I'm going into the MPC One Plus. I have air tube drive on, and then I'm going into a amp sim. It's a 412 cab, and let me see what everything. Yeah, it's just a 412 cab model in that. And then I've got the chorus on, and my chorus setting is very specific. So I have it at 0.5 hertz for the rate. The depth is 7.1 milliseconds. Feedback is at 0, and the mix is at 26%. That's how I'm getting that really lush sound there. I'm not going to add any reverb or anything because I can do all that later. I just want like the sounds that I'm going to stick with, and I'm definitely going to stick with this sound because it sounds great in my opinion. Let's go over to the chorus and do the same thing for that. I think I'm happy with that. So I'm going to get rid of my guitar. like that a little bit better. I'm going to go over to the Jazzmaster now, and I'm going to actually add auto pan to that as well. Okay, let's just go through both of these parts real quick, see how we like them. I think I'm done for the day. I think it came out pretty cool. So let's check it out. Here we go. Let's turn off that metronome. Here we go. Well, I think that sounded pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy with it. I might have underestimated the song, and I may need another part to add to it, but that's okay. I have enough musical information in what I recorded that I can go back and pick through it and figure something out to add some movement, just add some different flavor to a part and turn that into a fully fleshed out song. I'm excited to do that. And as soon as I do, I'll definitely be playing it for you guys in one way or the other, whether it's as a completely finished song with vocals and I release it, or just come back here and put it over some skateboarding or put it over some footage of me and my dog walking through the neighborhood or something like that. But very interested. As far as the Model 12 goes, I guess here's where I have my issues. I think this would be great as just a mixer. So maybe if I put this up in my garage and just used it as a mixer for when I want to record, that would work. But just as far as like using it with the MPC One Plus and recording these videos, it's kind of a pain. Using the Audio Fuse Rev 2 is better. I know the preamps on the Rev 2 are better because those preamps are phenomenal. Like I say, the Arturia Audio Fuse Rev 2 doesn't get enough props for how great its preamps are, how much clean gain they have, how much headroom they have. These aren't awful or anything like that. I know someone was saying that it's extremely low noise. If you compare it to the Audio Fuse, they're not even in the same ballpark, but this still has good preamps. But all the different things like getting those weird clicks when you're using the metronome and stuff. And I also just noticed that like right now I'm using channel 1 and 2 in live mode, and I'm using channel 9, 10 in PC mode to bounce back the audio from the MPC One, and the audio signals compete with each other. And at least in my monitoring in my cans, I was getting like weird changes in the volume levels while I was listening back to the song. So like everything would start out at one volume and then all on its own that volume would shift. The volume of my voice in relation to the MPC One feed and in relation to like the guitar or the bass when it was plugged in, those would also change like without me changing any settings. And so I think there's some type of like errors with this thing communicating in both of those ways. So it just doesn't necessarily do everything that it promises to do extremely well. And so I don't know. I'm going to have to, because I already have it here, and it's a big old heavy thing as far as shipping goes. So if I were to sell it, I'd have to deal with shipping and shipping costs and getting the right box and all that. So it's just a pain. I already have it. There are some things that I can use it for. It just doesn't do everything that I want it to do as well as I expected it to do them. And so that's kind of a bummer. But the MPC One Plus strikes again. It's amazing. I love it. Yeah, maybe some of you guys know a better way that I can use the MPC One Plus with this, but you know, I've used it just as a mixer and gone into the inputs of the MPC One Plus before, but then it's not really doing what I want it to do. And there's kind of no purpose of me having it, right? Because I already have some really clean preamps in my Audio Fuse, and I can go out of the output, the back of that into the inputs of this if I want. And I can use it as an interface with this and not have any of the issues that I was having. So I don't know. I still love the Audio Fuse a lot more than this. I do like the fact that this has the mixer, has the compressor built in. If it did what it was supposed to do very seamlessly without the audio conflicting, it would be great. But just having those audio conflicts, like having to really baby how you set the volume on channel 9 and 10 so that you don't have weird clicks and pops when the metronome is active, and having the volume drops and the relative volume of instruments not represented accurately when you're using it as an interface and using it the way that I'm using it right now simultaneously. You know, like the purpose of this thing is that you can do those things simultaneously. At least that's one of the big reasons that I bought it. And since it's not performing that function well, I just might not be able to justify holding onto it. But hyped on that song. Hyped to make music today. We'll see how hyped I am when I'm editing this. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.